James, you picked it. We are going to do the division winners in the AL first. All right, AL East, the powerhouse, generally the one who determines where the AL goes. Who do you have as your division winner?
I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles. They just have so much talent on that team. They have an ace. They have a lot of young guys who are young enough to not know how much pressure they have on them. And I like that. They're playing with house money. So go with the Orioles for the AL East.
I love it. I'm there, right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. This has nothing to do with the Yankees being bad. Let me say that again. This is actually the reason I picked this, because my concern with the Yankees compared to the Orioles. If one player goes down with the Orioles, I think they have enough talent around to pick them back up. If one player goes down, let's say it's a Judge or a Soto, they turn into a completely different team, and that concerns me. Not as much on the pitching staff. We've seen ups and downs and stuff on the pitching staff, but in that lineup, a Judge or Soto go down, which are their two guys, that concerns me so much. So I'm picking Baltimore. I think they have an overall better lineup, top to bottom. I think they're more complete. So I am picking also Baltimore. God, it's crazy that we're both doing that. AL Central. Who are you going with?
I look at the Central in both the AL and the NL, and there's nobody on either side that says, wow, they're going to win this division. I guess with the AL Central, I'm just going to have to go with the team who's in the lead right now. It's not a sexy pick, but Cleveland has a lot of young guys who are starting to play really well. So I'll go with Cleveland, holding off Kansas City.
So far, we are joining powers. Where our rings are uniting together. We're going to call Captain Planet here in just a minute. So I am also going with the Guardians. You say not a sexy pick. I feel it, but at the same time, I think it is a sexy pick, because the scary part is they have the best winning percentage of the AL. At some point, we just got to recognize, and I will own this. I did not think they would be here at this point. There was no way I thought I'd be picking them to win this division and to actually maybe even go far into the playoffs. I am picking the Guardians because, you know what, they know how to win. They've been there before, and they're figuring it out, man. And what's scary is, what if they do get a couple guys in that rotation, or maybe some guys in the bullpen, and they even get better, and maybe in a bat, who knows? But kind of where the Guardians go, that division goes, it kind of feels like lately. The AL West, this is an interesting one. Kind of a lot of teams kind of bundled up there. You still have the World Series champion Texas Rangers in third place, looming back there. Angels and Athletics, we can kind of dismiss them completely. But at the same point, you do not want to miss out on the Rangers, and Astros in second place with the Mariners leading it. Who's going to walk away with that AL West?
Not because they're in the lead right now, but I really like Seattle. I like what they've built over there. I like the young players. Julio Rodriguez is just an absolute beast. And if they do the right thing at the trade deadline, I can see them picking up that one piece that's going to put them over the top. And I have a feeling I know who that piece might be. Perhaps Pete Alonso leaving New York to go to Seattle.
That's a bold move, man. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the thing about it, is they're playing good ball. We know they have one of the best rotations in all of baseball. At times, it was by far the best rotation in baseball. Anywhere where Julio Rodriguez is a team you have to compete with. But I don't think they have what it takes. I think a team's going to come from behind. I think a team in second place, the Astros, are going to come up and take this division. They're a team right now, if you look at their record and how they've been playing in general, take out that first month, and this team is well above 500 and would be winning this division if you just take away April. And that's what scares me, is this is a team that is 9-1 in their last 10 compared to 3-7 Mariners. They're moving in the right direction. They're playing great baseball. They know how to win. I mean, when they haven't win? When have they gone out there and failed in all reality? Like a failure for them last year was ALCS, and they closed ALCS at that. I think they make the right moves. They got rid of a huge signing in Abreu. They got rid of him when they knew they had to cut. They've gone out and made the right signings. I think that bullpen's going to be even more locked in. I think the Astros are a team you have to be very careful of, and I don't think anybody in the American League wants to face them once they're healthy. That rotation's healthy. Those two-headed monster at the back of that bullpen, and that lineup just constantly produces. Astros, what's scary to me, they're going to be borderline best record in the American League by the end of the year. Borderline. I don't think they'll have it. I think they'll be like 3 or 4 games back, but we're going to look back and go, what the hell happened? And we're just going to think that April was a speed bump. Moving on, now we kind of know who the division winners are. James, you picked Baltimore, the Guardians, and the Mariners. I picked Baltimore, the Guardians, and Astros. So that leaves some wild card teams out there. Who's your 1, 2, and 3 wild card winners?
I've got the Yankees, I've got Houston, and I've got the Kansas City Royals. Those are the 3 teams that I really, really like.
The Royals! The Royals! What excites you about the Royals?
Number 1, I love Bobby Witt Jr. I think he is a great player that unfortunately...
That hair is just... I am very jealous. Like, you've got great hair. For Kansas City, for the flow, for the... I don't even want to call it, like party in the front, stud in the back. I don't even know what I want to say. Like, there's no business about it. Business is baseball, and baseball business is going really good for that man. God, that hair looks good.
Yeah, he's got a great head of hair. He's a super talented player. I would actually put him in my top 5 for AL MVP voting, which we'll talk about later. But for me, I think the key piece, the piece that nobody's really talking about, Seth Lugo has been incredible for that team. The Mets are going to be kicking themselves one day when they're looking back saying, oh, I need a starter, and they had this guy in the bullpen for years.
You know, the thing too, Salvador Perez is an absolute stud. Pascatino is figuring it out lately. He is, according to Fangraphs, in the last 7 days, he's the 6th best player in all of baseball. Obviously, Bobby Witt Jr. has just been all-around stud. Where Bobby goes, the team goes with that rotation. Cole Reagans, Lugo, Singer, Waka. I mean, all these guys, even Alec Marsh has been really, really solid, and that bullpen has been strong. That's kind of their weaker point. That's something they can get better, which is crazy because that's where they made all the moves this offseason, was really the bullpen. So if they really want to go for it, they might make some moves there. At the same time, I don't know if they want to sell the farm. If they go for moves, I think the moves are going to be a little bit longer term moves, not we're going to try to make the playoffs this year moves. I think they're going to be moves where, okay, we bring in somebody. This is for 2 years, 3 years, which will be really interesting because that's like a lot of teams aren't in that position. The Royals are, because a lot of really good things going on there. I think the only question I look at is sometimes Salvador Perez being 34. Huge role in this team leadership. Where do they go when he starts to decline? That being said, they are not making the playoffs. Sorry, James. They are not making the playoffs. I've got the Yankees because that Baltimore Yankees team, they're just that thing's going to go back and forth. The Yankees are going to be the number 1 wild card, which they're going to be in a good position to be. I think they'd rather be number 1 wild card than even winning the East because they'll be playing games right out of the bat. They don't want to have the best record in baseball. I think they want to have that second tier, so they're constantly playing games. The Seattle Mariners will be my second wildcard team, and the Minnesota Twins. That team's built for playoffs. It's built for right now. At the end of the day, they know how to win when it matters. They have a lot better team than we all sit back and think. Like, we all sit back, kind of look at the Twins, go, but at the same time, they actually have some dudes. They have some studs, and they got some guys on this team that are playing better baseball than almost the entire league. And so I do like the Twins at the end of the day.
I don't like the Twins because they can never beat the Yankees, and their best players always hurt.
Yes, but what's really interesting, though, too, is Royce Lewis has one of the highest home run rates of all time, which is interesting. So, what am I thinking? Ryan Jefferson? I don't know, one of those two. But when he does hit, when he does play, he hits the ball as well. But I do like that team. Byron Buxton, again, at one point, he's going to be just, if he's healthy, God, if he's healthy. But anyways, all right, we're moving on from the wild card. We're going to break this down again. Okay, James has, if I get this right, I'm just going off my head. So you got Baltimore, the Guardians, the Mariners, the Yankees, the Royals, and then your last pick was going to be the Houston Astros. I've got Baltimore, Guardians, Astros winning the divisions, Yankees, Mariners, Minnesota with the wild card.